What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who have made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon Tynes.
What's up? What's up?
And LeVon Maynard.
Where that?
So we made it to the end of the week. This is where we do our rundown, where we talk about things that are not cybersecurity related necessarily, unless somebody decided to study in this group, which was not me. So I have no study stuff to talk about. I took a break.
That's right.
So, but I did consume a lot of media. So definitely want to run down what you guys did this week to unwind from all this Colonial Pipeline news. So if you're listening, you made it all the way through the week. Thank you. Appreciate your support. If this is your first episode of the week, go back so you can hear about what happened with the Colonial Pipeline and the hacking attack, the executive order that was issued by the Biden administration to try to combat this stuff in the future, as well as a discussion about how they actually paid the ransom and how bad that is for everyone else, and how it effectively didn't work anyway. But this episode is all dedicated to just stuff. So for my quick recap, I watched a lot of anime and a lot of TV shows. So Silent Wine, and I played a game. I actually played a game.
Okay, I like that.
But we'll get to all that. So how's you guys' week?
I'm like in the same boat. I watched some animes. I watched some shows. I watched a little bit of I ended up watching a little bit of Young Justice. I caught up on that. I'd watched that like years ago. It actually went on a hiatus. So like first two seasons came out, I think around like 2012 or something like that. And then season 3 came out in 2019. So the wife and I just kind of recapped, because I'd watched season 1 and 2 back in 2012, but I kind of forgotten everything about it. So we watched through that. We can kind of power through that first 2 seasons and finish off the third season today. So that was pretty entertaining. Besides that, I've been playing some games. I've been sticking with my tried and true Destiny 2. I've been playing some Yakuza. But I need to finish off some other games I got in the queue. But how about you, Shannon? You've been into too much this week?
So not really. My son had his high school graduation today, so I went to that.
Congratulations!
Nice. Congratulations on that.
Yeah.
No, don't congratulate me until he's out of my house. Okay, that's when I would need to be congratulated, right? I'm like Bernie Mac, don't just me, come get him, But
that's right.
No, I love my children. I do. I like some of them less than others, but I love them all the same. No. So this week, we've had family in town and whatnot, so it's been mostly like entertaining and whatnot. And just like you, Ryan, I didn't get any studying in either, right? It's just,
slackers.
Yeah, I know.
Got 2 slackers on the podcast. I don't get anything done there. No.
But yeah, so I did watch Jupiter's Legacy. I was not impressed with that. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
that was this week.
That was this week.
We touched on it a little bit last week too, but
trash.
But yeah, I think you guys actually got a chance to watch the whole thing. I only watched the first episode, but I kind of want to watch the rest of it just so I kind of have a understanding of the whole series. But I was not impressed by the first episode, so
you might save that time.
Yeah, maybe I have to save that time. It's like about 8 hours of the time right there.
And it was based on a comic. I was wrong. There is a comic.
There's a comic for it.
It's probably also trash though.
If it's anything like the show, it's probably trash as well. No.
Yeah.
I wasn't impressed.
It wasn't good. It was not good, but it got to a point where, so like at the end of each episode, they kind of leave you hanging where you're like, I do kind of want to see where that goes, right? And then it just takes forever to get to that point again at the end of the next one. So it got to a point where I was like, man, I'm invested this far now. I might as well just keep it moving. But like I was like, oh man, there was points I was just falling asleep. You know what I mean? I'm like, it wasn't good for me. But that's kind of all I did. What was homework last week? I might not even finish homework last week. We had homework assignments. What was it? It was
we were supposed to watch the Bad Trip, and then
I didn't do
Harley
that.
Quinn.
So I did. Oh, actually, I did start watching Harley Quinn earlier in the week. That is hilarious. I did start watching that.
You like it.
yeah, I got about 4 episodes into that before, like, family showed up and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I stopped watching, but yeah, that was a trip, man. Like it was.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That caught me off guard. Like I mentioned in that first episode, I was like, what she say? What he say? Like, what the hell? What's going on?
Yeah.
I didn't know it was gonna be all cursing. I thought it was gonna be kind of like still like a, Teen Titans type, like, very kid friendly.
Not very much, not so.
Yeah, very much not so. Yeah. They talk about some stuff. They get a little explicit and some, talk about some sexual stuff and all kinds of stuff like that.
No, that's actually a good series. I am going to continue with that. That's pretty good. But like I said, I got family in town right now, so we're just sitting around chatting, catching up on stuff. We don't usually get to talk about, So
Yeah. I did finish. So a series that I had, not like a series, but a movie that I had watched. I started it a long time ago, but I never finished it. But Batman Ninja. I think we touched on it maybe last week, but
Yeah.
actually, I really enjoyed that one. It was really good. I thought it was pretty good. They have I think the animation is kind of like 3D. It's more 3D-ish as opposed to straight like 2D, like, I don't know, traditional like hand drawn. But I think they put some good effects on it, and like how it ends, like the ending to the it's so epic. And I know you mentioned too, Shannon, but they do like use some like machinery and mechanics, and like they have some, like, I don't even want to go too much into it, even though it's been out for a long time. Maybe I should put the
spoilers.
spoilers on it.
You know what?
So no, wait. I gotta watch it.
Okay,
Okay, I'll let Ryan
I'm
watch
watch
it.
it today.
Okay.
I watch it. I watch it today.
Yeah,
I knock
it's
it
on
out.
HBO Max. Yeah, yeah, it's good though. I enjoyed it. I like how it ended. Ending's kind of out there, but it's like it's pretty good.
I'm definitely gonna check it out.
Yeah, but I did enjoy that. I'm trying to think of some other things I watched. I always keep up with My Hero Academia. I think that's a really good series. And if you guys are into like anime and you have to read subtitles because it's at least I think the newer episodes are all subbed. So if you're not into like reading the subtitles, then you may not enjoy it as much. But it's a good series. I think it's one of the hottest ones out right now, at least anime wise. But I've been peeping that one.
I gotta ask my son about that. Like I said,
Yeah.
when you mentioned it last week, like my son watches that one, and we got him the shirts. Even he wears
Yeah.
Okay.
the shirts.
Yeah, it comes out. Yeah, I have it on Hulu. It comes out every week, at least because the current season is weekly, but they have 3 or 4 seasons before that are already completed that you can. Because I know Ryan doesn't like watching week to week, but
I don't. It's a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah.
Netflix has spoiled me.
Right, but you can knock it out all in like a couple days or whatever. Just binge watch it.
Yeah, that's probably what I'll do because my son watches it as well. But I usually watch older anime because it's already all the way out and done. So this week I picked up Tokyo Ghoul. I never watched it before, and now I'm hooked. But it was pretty good. So I'm about midway through the first season. I don't know how many seasons there are. Hopefully no more than 1 or 2 though. Like once you go past that, that's when you start to lose me.
Right.
But the final season of Castlevania dropped on Netflix. So I'm halfway through that as well. It's really good.
Nice.
So I'm powering through that. Did I watch any movies? I watched the Whack Juniper Legacy. Yeah, watched that. That was trash.
I haven't heard that one.
Or no, that's what we were talking about before. I called the wrong thing. Jupiter's Legacy.
Oh, Jupiter. Okay. Jennifer's. Jennifer's Legacy, huh? That's a new one.
Yeah, that's a totally different movie.
Was that in the X-rated section somewhere?
Yeah. It's probably also whack based on source material. Anything to do with this is whack. And then I saw Netflix also drop Love, Death, and Robots. So I like the first season of that. So that just dropped. So, and then Netflix, where they value my time, they drop everything at one time. Thank you, Netflix, who's not sponsoring this, but should. I like that model.
Yeah.
So was
something else I watched?
Was the Love, Death, and Robots? Was that the one where it was the different short stories for each episode?
Yes. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So I'm gonna say something that's probably gonna be every week. I'm probably gonna say this. I didn't like it. I had to skip around in some of those.
Right.
Like,
did you see the one you see the one in the about the pool robot? Like it's inside the pool.
I
with the
probably
tiles.
watch it. I probably didn't.
That's the episode that Schmear watched with me. She was like, "What am I watching?" Because it's so abstract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
No,
"That's
I
probably not
think
the episode I should have put you on."
I think the last one I watched of that was I don't know if they were Nazis or something like that. They were in Germany. I think it was Nazi Germany, and they were out in the woods. I think that was Love, Death, and Robots. I could be thinking about the wrong thing too, right? Because
I don't
it
know.
was a while ago that I watched it. And they were turning into werewolves or something like. Was it werewolves or I
I
can't
don't
remember
know.
what it was. Yeah, there was one guy. Yeah, it might not have been Love, Death, and Robots, but my son watched it and he liked it, so I kind of watched it. But this was a while ago. This was a while ago. I watched it and I just had to skip around. I was just reading the descriptions and I was like, nah,
Yeah,
like that's for me. I don't like that's for me. Um, but yeah, it was not. Well, there was one. No, there was one. Um, where they were in the tubes. What was it? It's probably like the first one, and it was like a monster.
because is that the one where they were fighting?
It was the monster, but it was controlled by somebody.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Yeah.
it was in a tournament. Yeah.
So that one I liked actually. I was like, okay, that's not bad. Yeah, because they're only like 15 minutes or something like that, right?
Yeah.
They're not
Mhm.
long. Yeah, that one I liked. But then I was like, okay, well, let me see the other ones, and I couldn't get with it. I couldn't get.
Yeah, it's all over the place. It's kind of like Animatrix. Yeah. The remember how the Matrix had all these movies and then they did an animated.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that where like all these things loosely connected to the same universe. Maybe not. Like, but I like that type of stuff. At least in one sitting. Like I wouldn't go back and watch it again probably, but just consume it in one time. It's like, it wasn't bad.
Right.
But I know I watched something else because I was supposed to watch Bad Trip for work too. Like a bunch of people at work were saying it was hilarious. I just have not gotten to it yet, but I am going to get to it. I'm definitely going to watch it because everybody keeps saying it's funny. I'm just like, man, I've never been down with those type of movies, except for Bad Grandpa was actually pretty good. But aside from that, I never really liked any of them. Not Kendrick Lamar. J. Cole's new album dropped. Listen to that. It was okay. It was okay.
I know what that means.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It's no Black Forest Hills or KOD, but still good album. Especially in the current drought that we're in. For good rap, because that's few and far between. Did not study at all. And I did play Hades a lot, and I made it further than before. So Hades is that roguelike that I'm playing, where basically you're supposed to beat the game in one run. If you don't, you die, you start over. But as you die, you get more and more story. So
you're saying, if I understand you correctly, if you die one time, you got to start it all the way over from the beginning?
Yep. That's just part of it. Like so roguelites, it's basically they're kind of hardcore, but not really. Like you just have to beat in one run. So typically, because every time you get further into the game, you're learning new mechanics, new bosses, and then the layout is randomized, so that way you don't memorize the shortest path to get there. But what they're doing nowadays is they're making the deaths part of the story. So like Returnal for the PS5 or Hades for the Switch and the PC, where the story is built around the dying part. So like I'm the son of Hades. I'm trapped in hell. He doesn't want me to leave, and I need to make it through the different levels of hell to get to Olympus. And the Olympians are trying to help me out because they're like, "Hey, nephew, we know you've lived under your whole life. We want to help you out." So they keep giving me powers, right? Like power ups. But if you die, you then wake back up in hell, but the game remembers your death. So like the person who killed you will be down in the hill, like clowning you, like, yeah, you didn't make it past me, yada, yada, yada. Your dad is like, you're such a disappointment. He's like, stop trying. Like, and then you have other cousins and stuff like that. Like Achilles is in there. He's like, yeah, try this next time or do this different this time. So it all builds upon, like, you're not supposed to make it your first time through. So I've died probably like 20, 30 times. And every time they say something new to me. So you're prepared for me not making through this game for a long time.
Why would you subject yourself to that? I need a save. If I'm gonna play a game, I need a checkpoint.
Takes
Nope.
about, yeah, I know. I need a
Nope.
checkpoint.
Yeah.
No, but a lot of the appeal is because you get better every time you play through. Because it's not a matter of you getting the correct power ups. It's about you understanding how the systems and mechanics work and the enemy attack patterns and stuff like that. So it's made for a obsessive person. That's me.
Yeah.
They got me.
Do you
So
keep
and it's a
keep the powers? So like when you die and go back to the beginning, do you keep the powers you accumulated?
you keep because there's different currencies. Like so you keep some stuff. Like there's certain things that you can purchase that stay with you forever. But all the Olympian, they call them boons that they give you, the little power-ups, those go away. You start from scratch again. But you level up your weapons, you level up. Like there's certain mechanics that you do keep continuously level up. So my dude is stronger and faster. His weapons are better, but he loses all those special powers, like anything Zeus gave me or Aphrodite gave me, like all that stuff drops off.
Yeah, no way.
Yeah.
I'm not playing that. Like I earned it at that point, right? Like you're not taking my lightning bolts away. I'm guessing Zeus gives you lightning, right?
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but like
Yep.
I there's no way I'm going without it. It's
Yeah.
not like
And then
I've
the
earned it
different
already.
and the different powers you give, like that you get, if you get them in particular combinations, they do different things, right? So it's like there's always more and more to explore and learn. I had one that turned. I carry a spear as my main weapon because you get a spear, a sword. You can got gauntlets, so you can put the hands on them. But I do the best with the spear, so I usually lead with that one. So I've been leveling that one up. At one point, I had this combination. I'll never probably figure out again, but I had a combination of powers that turned my spear pretty much into a rocket. Like I would throw it and it would just blow up on contact. And I was wailing on bosses. Like I was like, oh man, I found a cheat code for this. And then I died and I've never gotten it again.
Wow.
I was wailing. That's how I made it to Elysium. I want to say that's the third level on the way up. I don't know if there's 4 or 5, but I was getting up there. So I made it to Elysium. It's where all the greatest fighters die and go. All the characters attacking me were just whooping my ass. But I still had the rockets, basically. I was wailing on them. And finally I got to like a mid-boss and he killed me. And then you just wake back up in hell.
Damn.
but they remember. So like one did, like Achilles was like, man, you made it all the way up to Elysium. Like I'm proud of you. I was like, yeah, I did that.
But you haven't beaten the game, right? You just gotten up to like the third or fourth level. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah, that's tough right there. I think I played I don't know if you mentioned earlier, but Dead Cells, like I think it's similar.
Yeah. Yep.
It's like the same kind
Similar.
of premise where you die and you go back to the beginning. I started playing that. I was like, and I just kept dying. I was like, I can't play this anymore. So I put it on. I put it on the
tough love. Tough love.
burner.
That's what the game's giving you.
But I don't know. I'm curious, like how far this game, like how long you have to, like how long it takes to get to the end of the game. Like how long you have to be sitting there. You can't even walk away for a little bit. If you have to, somebody rings your doorbell or something, you got to pause it, and then maybe you got like, don't touch the system like it back in the old school days. When you play like Nintendo, like just leave it turned on, don't touch the system, and whatever you need to do. If you need to go run some errands, you got to.
Typically a speed run through those things is like 45 to an hour. Like if you knew everything and you were really good at it, you could beat it within an hour. So it feels as though it's much bigger because you're always starting over, right? But Returnal for the PS5, I heard that was hours. Like you can go hours and then die and then start all the way over. Like that's a bit much.
Yeah.
I would smash my system. I would pull it out and step on it continuously. Like no way. There's no way.
Yeah, especially you get to like the boss dude at the very end, and you like after all your struggle, then you like die at it, and then you got to start from the very beginning. Like,
my console would die an unjust death. Like, there is no way. Like how do you? I wouldn't even think to pull the disc out or whatever. You know what I mean? Like
everything's going.
Like, you all die. Like the remote, I'm putting you on top. I'm stomping you out. You know what I mean?
TV just gonna.
Yeah. I don't know about
everything
TV.
had to go.
The TV.
Oh, the TV. Oh, hold up. The TV be okay. Right.
Yeah. But I might as well because my PlayStation is my streaming device anyway, right? So like well, but
I almost got a PS5. As close as I've ever been. So Sony was selling them direct. So it got rid of the whole bots with a virtual queue. I got to the end of the virtual queue and they had just sold out.
Oh damn.
So I was almost in there. I almost made it. And then they had some more drops. They had some on Best Buy. And somebody else, GameStop. So it started the week off with getting an alert from GameStop because I have two Twitter accounts I follow that basically they chime. It's like, hey, PS5 is available here. Click the link. So, excuse me. So GameStop dropped first. GameStop's always a hot mess. So couldn't get through, couldn't get it. And then the next day, and it's always for me, it's always the middle of the night. So I get the chime. I know what that sound is. So is the Pavlov thing kicks in. I was like, I gotta get to the laptop. So
Quick.
So it chimed, and this one was Best Buy, and Best Buy I got all the way to get into my cart, and then no, I'm sorry, Sony. So Sony was the second one. So Sony was dropped direct. I was like, oh, this is my chance. So I get in. I already have an account steps, right? Because I have PSN. It knows me. It puts me in a virtual queue, and then it was like, don't refresh, and we will chime again when you're at the end of the line. You get 1 hour to purchase. So I was like, okay, cool. Not a back office, like 1 o'clock in the morning. Chime hits. I wake up. I get there. It's like, sorry, we're sold out. So I made it 35 minutes into the queue before they sold out. Because everybody who's in the queue has a chance to just purchase. Why would you get out? You know what I mean? Like, why would you not purchase?
Right.
So if there's you got 1,000 left and 1,500 of us are in a queue, first man in.
That's right.
Gets it. But it's better than bots because bots refresh. So it's, to my knowledge, it would be bot free unless they have new bots that are patient and they wait. I don't know. Could be a thing. So I didn't get it there, but I was like, that at least I had a chance. And then Best Buy dropped it the following day. So it's just like they're breaking my sleep day after day after day. So like I opted into this though. So it drops on Best Buy. Me and my wife, because it's regular day for her. So I shoot her a message like, hey, follow this link. We both get into our carts. However, it was not an online purchase. It was pick up in store only, and there was not a Best Buy within 250 miles of our house.
Wow.
That's what you lead with. These stores have them available. Would you like to purchase? Like, no, we want you to go all the way through the process. And then at checkout, they check to see if it's in your area. And it's like, nope, not even a Best Buy in the state has this. Like, why would you do?
Yeah, how they gonna do
why
that
would you, or why would you just sell it online? Like, why are you shipping them to stores? I don't get it. Right. So if you're listening to Best Buy, I hate you. Because it was because it's in your cart. It's like click to check out. It's like click, and it was like not available in your area. And I was like what? So then I checked, and it was like not available online. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, why would they even do that?
No PS5 for me.
I heard Sony is they're trying to. I think they said they're gonna. They plan on increasing production in the summertime, but they still think it's going to be a shortage through. I think they might have said 2023.
Yeah, they said semiconductors. Yeah, because Nintendo was going through the same thing, and the Switch has been out and established for a while. They had a drought though because they couldn't get enough semiconductors either. It's supposed to be an upgrade to the Switch potentially. Like people were calling the Switch Pro, better screen. You dock it as 4K. All rumor and speculation. Because Nintendo doesn't usually divulge too much information. But even then, I think Forbes wrote an article, and I pretty much respect Forbes as a source of actual good information. And they were saying that it is coming out, but they keep pushing the date for announcement because they can't get enough semiconductors. So, like the whole world, like GPUs, you can't get GPUs for your PC because that not only is semiconductor shortage, but also data miners, or not data miners, Bitcoin miners are trying to buy them. So like those are short. Like, can't get a hold of nothing. Cards.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think I correct myself too. They said the shortage will continue through 2022, which makes sense. But yeah, it's that, like you said, the semiconductor, that's a big issue. And they blame, mostly they blame COVID. And
but what's weird though is I don't know if Microsoft's pipeline is more robust or demand is just that much lower. Because I know it's a high item. I'm not a fanboy. I just got a Series S, so I got one for my son who has not gotten it yet. Because we're waiting for the school year to finish out, but it's at the crib. You're starting to see those pop up more and more. Like I keep getting messages that more available. You can't get an X. Like I want a Series X, But you can't find an X. But you Series S's are starting to actually wind up in stores. Like people are showing videos of them actually being on shelves.
Yeah.
So how are they making those? And I can't get a PS5. I don't know. It must be supply and demand.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think the
So,
Series S is not as like popular definitely as the Series X, and
yeah.
definitely not as popular as like PS5 right now, which is they said is the top selling, the fastest selling console in history right now. I guess.
Yeah. Even despite the shortage. So just think, but again, like the shortage is also adding to the hype. But
Right.
if there was no shortage, like would they still be the fastest selling? I don't know. I would maybe. I would try to get one regardless, right? Like if I was balling out of control, I'd buy two, one for the kids and one for myself.
You know you
Not
do
even
that
gonna lie.
anyway.
No, so I never had to, but now like literally my kids take over my accounts. Like I
Right.
got trophies I didn't earn because they earned them. Just like, yo, we need separate systems. So
Right. Right. You need your own account. Get your own system.
yeah,
Well,
but
I tell you what, Ryan. I know somebody that in the west
I
wing
need
of
a
their
big
house, they're not using their PlayStation. It's just over there collecting dust. You might be able to
collecting
work out a
dust.
deal. You might be able to work out a deal with them. You know what I mean? Be
Collect
like,
over there
hey,
collecting dust.
yeah,
He not playing Returnal. He not playing Resident Evil Village. None of the joints that just dropped. He ain't playing none of them. He playing Yakuza.
That's right. People like Yakuza and Destiny 2, playing some old ass Destiny 2. And it's
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. But
no,
yeah, as soon as one drops, I'm gonna get it for the kids, and then I'll just live vicariously through them until I buy a second. So we'll see how that works. But did I share the TV with you guys? My TV of the future,
you
the
did.
oh,
the
you sent
the
me
TCL.
a
85
little video.
85 inch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they selling 85-inch TVs
that's what's
for
up.
cheap.
Only thing
You can steal all your data, but aside from
I,
that,
yeah,
small price to pay.
Well,
like
here's
we
the
said, we
thing.
put it on that guest network. You'd be good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Put it on the guest network, and here's the thing. Hopefully TCL learned their lesson, right? So like they're putting these out. They're like, okay, we know where we messed up right before. We know what the
yeah. We
issue
got
was.
we got to get better at stealing this data.
Yeah.
We got a team. They're like, figure out how to steal data more efficiently. No, I was just playing.
Right.
So, but TCL TVs, like you cannot beat that price for that screenage. They're talking about for the 8K 85-inch, $3,000.
Mm.
I need that in my life. But if you got the 4 series, because they go 4, 5, 6, and 8. I think the 6 series, when I shared with you guys, was like 15 or 1600 or something like that. Not $2,000 for 85-inch 4K television.
Mm.
But I need all them Ks, so I'm gonna get the 8K.
Hell yeah, might as well join
I
the
need all
club.
of them for no reason. I'm not even using half these pixels.
Right, right. Don't, it's not even anything like content out there to use all
Yeah.
8K, all those pixels.
So,
But
but
the
that's definitely my TV of the future.
only thing I didn't like, at least when I heard of the video, maybe I misheard it, but it sounded like he said there was only HDMI 2.0 on there, and there was no 2.1 on that
So
particular
he
video.
had the 4 series, so I'm not sure. So he
Okay.
had the cheapest. So maybe there's only one 2.1 because they would kind of defeat the purpose, right?
Well, he
Or
made it
unless
seem like there was,
you're not in the gaming. Maybe that's not the one for
yeah,
gaming.
yeah,
Uh,
and maybe there's like I don't know. I'm trying to go on the website now to see if, but yeah, he made it seem like there was zero on it, like there was no. He's like, oh, because he
oh,
didn't even
that's
talk about
definitely
gaming on it much, or like any kind of like, no, this is what it looks like when you
yeah.
put your PS5 or your Xbox Series X on it or something. But
Yeah, it's definitely not the one for me. I would either get the 6 because I have a 6 now. I have a 75-inch 6 series. And I think it has one or two 2.1, but it's my first 2.1 device at the crib, and even it's not even the TV that the kids play games on, so they won't know the difference. They won't care.
right.
But when I use it, I need all of them frames. I need all of those pixels. I am a snob. So
And one thing I'll say on the technical level, like there's only certain games that will be able to take care of all, take full advantage of the 120,
yeah,
FPS. Like most of the games are gonna be like around 60. Like a lot, especially the high
yeah,
res, high res games, high like AAA type games, like you said, the Resident Evils and all that kind of stuff. They're not gonna be any more than 60. But
right,
certain games are like maybe like a 2D side scroller type thing, and like I don't know, some other like maybe lower like polygon, like maybe like a platform type game. You see those like in the
Yeah, the 120s. I think
Yeah.
Ori and the Blind Forest dropped at
Yeah.
120.
That's
There's a
one.
handful. There's a handful. I think they boosted some of the what is that game called? It's a shooter. It's a little bit older.
Like a Call of Duty or something, or like a
So I know they did boost some of the Call of Duties and some of the Battlefields. I don't know if they made it to 120, but I know they some 30 frame games are now at 60. Like there's like
right.
a list like 75 games that Microsoft has went in there and retooled to make the
Right.
engine produce more frames. Like Titanfall is now, I think, is Titanfall 120 or is it 60?
I'd have to imagine.
I don't remember, but
120.
yeah, but I know
I mean,
they've
60 rather.
they've boosted a few of them. I can't remember the other shooter though. What is the other shooter? Um, it's a shooter that people have been playing. It's made by Valve, I want to say. It's got a robot and a Texas like shooter dude who's like death. Like he has like 2 6 shooters that he fires. I played it like once or twice. It'll come back to me at after the show is over. But I think that one's at 120 now.
You were right about the Titanfall. I just pulled up a story. It says Microsoft adds 120 FPS boost support for Titanfall and Battlefield games and other EA titles.
Is that Titanfall any good? Have you played Titanfall? I've seen it, but I
played both of them. I thought they were
so
you jump in the big robot, right?
Yeah. So the first one was just okay. I think it was all multiplayer, but the second one actually has a campaign and multiplayer. And from what I've been told, is like really good. But it came out the same week as either a Call of Duty or a Battlefield. It got completely shadowed by a bigger game. But the Titanfall games are made by Respawn, and Respawn is made up of the guys who did Call of Duty. So like Modern Warfare, those guys, there was like a big fallout. They left, like Vince Zampella and the other guy left, and they made Respawn Entertainment. So like it has a pedigree of some really good developers in it. But I don't know why he dropped that game the same week as something more with a bigger name drop. But it's been reemerging like now with this boost that's been given. Like people are getting back in there. They said the community's back up. It's one of those situations where the community started to die and now it's been re-resurrected. So I definitely want to jump into it. But A, I have to get a next gen console, and then B, I have to get a TV because I can't play it if I'm not playing it at the max. I'm just saying.
That's right.
It's got to look the best. It's got to sound the best. All right, I ain't getting down with it.
Video snob to the fullest, right?
To the max. Yeah. Gotta be.
And there's actually more games than I realized that were 120. 120. And there's even like you said, like the Battlefield games, Call of Duty, Destiny, some Devil May Cry, Dirt series, Fortnite, Gears 5, Halo Infinite, apparently.
Yeah, and they say it does make a difference. Like I haven't seen it yet because I don't have a display that can do it. But they said it makes an actual difference. Where you're like, oh, this is the way things are supposed to look.
Yeah, right. It's true.
So I'm like, okay,
it does make a difference. And like one of the first games I played at 120 on a TV was Destiny, and that made a world of difference. You can feel how much it's a lot more smoother than playing it at 30 frames per second. It feels all clunky. Right. Now I don't even want to play games at 30 frames per second anymore. But
yeah, it's 120 on the Series X.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get a whole one of those.
It's a 120 when you're playing Crucible, which is the PvP mode. Like, but if we're playing like the story and like the general, like we need a world running around, it's set 60 because I guess it's a lot more going on during those type of scenes. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say because when I played it was only 30. It's only 30 frames on the Xbox One. Like the names are starting to bleed into each other.
Yeah.
Last gen it was only 30 frames. So that's still pretty impressive. So, but I see it as this like since I can't get a hold of this stuff. Like I use my time to do other things like study, read a book, watch media, stuff like that. But B, the longer it takes me to get it, the more stuff will be available. So when I get on the scene, I'm gonna have plenty of choice. So it's fine.
Yeah.
Like I don't have FOMO on that. I did at first. I did have FOMO at first, but now that it's been like it feels like a year So some joints dropped. That's been like
Right.
6, 7 months. I'm just like, when I get one, I get one. So when I go home on leave or whatever, and I get to play the series, that's I'm like, all right, that's what's up.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're right though. I mean, when those bangers come out, the ones that you really want to play, I don't think they're really out yet. I mean, people like I don't know, like you said, Returnal. It seems like a good
Yeah,
game. I'm not really like. I looked at it, I was like, oh, it looks pretty nice, but I play it like maybe when it's really cheap and I can find it like on a discount somewhere. But I'm not like
yeah,
jumping, chomping at the bit to get it. But I know you mentioned the Ratchet and Clank that's coming out maybe the next month here.
yeah. I
Um,
saw some video of that, and I'm watching it in not standard def. Like I think I'm watching it in 1080 or whatever, and it still looks like a Pixar movie. So I can only
yeah.
imagine.
But I've never really played those games. I'm not like crazy excited about that. I'll play it. I may get it at some point, but I'm also not like crazy into the Ratchet and Clank. I never played the first ones or like the couple whatever ones came out before this one. But
Gotcha.
it looks. I mean, it looks good enough though. I mean, it looks like a really good platformer type game. Um, but I'm trying to think about some other the big ones that coming out. Like I'm looking forward to like the God of Wars and
Yeah,
the Horizon Zero Dawns and maybe the next um, you know, uh, The Last of Us, whoever makes that game, and the Uncharted games, type like that. Um,
yeah,
those are the type of games I'm like really looking forward to on the PS5, as well as like the Xbox has the Halo Infinite, and they have a bunch of stuff that they have. That one of their marketing guys is like hyping everybody up that we got some IP coming up. 'Cause obviously, they have like 23 studios now that they're underneath their umbrella, and so
yeah.
I know they're all working on some first party. I think they said it's called like Starlight from the Bethesda. Uh,
Starfield. Yeah,
Starfield. I'm sorry, Starfield.
yeah.
That's supposed to be like they're putting like a lot of money into that game. It's supposed to be like a AAA game, and they said it's gonna be exclusive to the PC and Xbox. So I might
Oh,
check
that's
that out.
that's official because I've been behind the news curve.
Yeah, yeah, they said it
Oh, okay,
just
because I
like
know
the last few
people,
days.
yeah, people
Yeah,
kill like, no, there's no way they could do that. Like, even though they
right.
bought them, they're gonna share. Blah, blah. Like, why would I share anything? I just bought it.
That's right.
It's like when you're
It's
a
ours
kid, did you
now.
share the stuff you just bought? Like, unless you
Right,
had
right.
siblings, it made you
Yeah,
share.
that's right.
Like, I'm just gonna
Yeah,
come out here and be like, yeah, it's free to everybody. I'm like, no,
right,
like this
right.
is. But what's awesome though is like the Game Pass just gets more and more value. Like I'm
Yeah,
paying $15 a month and I'm getting like full $60, $70 games day
yeah,
one.
right. That's the truth.
That's what's up.
See, but
Yeah,
maybe we should teach differently, right? Like, so if we teach our children to share when they're younger, maybe they won't hoard gas when they get older, right? So
that's right.
it'll translate over. You know what I
I
mean?
know. They don't
Teach them
think
to
about
share.
anybody else
Yeah.
but themselves.
Yeah,
Like,
not think about anybody else.
Yeah, it's all cultural, man. Like I heard about this bus strike in Japan, right? Because I like Japanese culture and stuff like that. I heard that they had a bus strike,
I didn't
and
hear about that.
yeah, so bus strike, but because obviously their culture is different, right? Like they do everything for Japan, like it's honor and all that good stuff.
Mm.
The buses keep moving. The bus drivers keep driving the buses. They're not taking fares, so that way the corporation is not making money.
Oh, damn.
So, and the corporation's not stopping them because they realize people need to get to work. Like we're not gonna stop Japan from being productive, but we're gonna
Right.
take this L during the negotiation phase to get these
Wow.
people. So people were still doing work,
Yeah.
but you know what I mean? Like that doesn't happen in
They're
America.
striking
We
while
shutting
working
we
still.
shutting everything down. I'm taking
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
taking down all the buses. Like we ain't we
Right.
ain't we ain't driving nowhere.
But
That's
public
right.
transportation over in Japan is bigger too, right? Like they've invested a lot more into it as well, right? So that's
Yeah.
why you have so many people that are relying on it. Like here, I mean, I don't know if it would hurt as much, right? Because public
Like
transportation,
a DC or New
especially in
York.
New
Yeah.
York City, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I'll give you, DC, New York, those places that have like your Amtrak's and your buses,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But yeah, for the most part in this country, I mean, somebody has a car or something, or they'll call Uber, you know what I mean, or Lyft or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
True.
yeah, it
But
would.
yeah, I just thought that was interesting. Like it's just complete opposite. Like we over here pouring gas in the Ziploc bags. The countries do things totally different. Not to say anything. Well, I can say that is wrong. Like don't do that. You need a lid
Right.
so you don't blow up. But not to say that the way that they handle things is any better than we do in the States. When not, just different mindset.
Yeah.
Uh,
And I think you're right. I know we can have like a whole episode on it, but I just like, Shannon mentioned it earlier, but just the people are very selfish, I think, and people just don't think about everybody else. I think it kind of goes into the whole COVID thing and wearing masks and things like that. Like people all kind of people have their feelings on that, but I think a lot of people are selfish in general in America and other places too. But uh, as we saw just during this gas shortage, that people just kind of like, I'm gonna load up for gas that I won't even be able to use in the amount of time before it like goes bad. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
load up. Like I seen people with the I know you mentioned the canisters, the small little canisters that people carry around, but I saw the big old like the
Like
tanks
full
where you
full tank of
yeah,
gas.
a tank that's big enough for people to have like a little like a jacuzzi tub. I saw people filling those things up. Like it's crazy. Like how the hell are you gonna try to like you are purposely trying to empty out uh the gas station so that you can maybe you can
So
charge people for gas and they come to your house like, oh, I'm the only
that's
person
what I'm
that
saying.
gas
Now
in town.
you are a gas station. Yeah.
Right,
Can you
right.
even sell gas? I wonder if there's like some kind of law or something. Gotta be, right? So you don't blow up
I'm sure.
your neighborhood.
I'm sure there is, but
So this was an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I know you haven't watched it yet, Ryan, but like
Mhm.
it's hilarious. Like they keep going, like they mentioned in the show because they were trying to sell gas at their bar. Every time they come back to the gas station, they're like, "Yeah, that guy keeps putting another number up on the sign. Like he keeps charging more." So they keep coming back to the gas station, pumping gas to sell it at the bar. It's hilarious, though. Yeah,
oh
it's,
damn.
it's
I haven't
funny.
seen that one either. Yeah. That sounds
People are
funny though.
crazy. That's hilarious. Yeah. But I don't know, man. Like we got issues in the States. People out here selling gas in
Right.
baggies.
Yeah.
Like it's prohibition or
That's right. They make gas in their basement.
what is
Like,
happening? Yeah, out there
oh
wilding.
man. That is
But
crazy.
so not to get political, because it shouldn't be a political issue, but just to ask the question. So like I'm vaccinated. So is my wife. My kids they're going through the first shot now to get to the second shot. But I have a very young one who cannot receive it. It's just not authorized for kids that young right now. Uh, but so what will probably happen is when we're out and about, we'll probably still wear ours, not because we're afraid of catching it or giving it, but for solidarity. Because like little man can't, just roam around. A, because I want to be safe, but B, because I also want to show solidarity. Like, hey, we all in this together, one family, one unit, and whatnot. But I can see, like in my head, like not to be pessimistic, but I can see this being a thing when I get to the States, where people are either gonna have something to say or feel some kind of way.
Right.
What's wrong with people?
So,
I think it's it. Oh, go
yeah,
ahead,
I'm I'm
Shannon.
I'm I'm in the same boat though. So like I have two younger ones that are below the age of 12, right? So it's
Yeah,
the same thing. Like when we do decide to, one of them is high risk, for breathing problems. You know what I mean? So
gotcha.
even with us going out, it's going to be the same for us. Like because my son that just graduated today, he's going to get his second next week. We didn't have him do it. His time frame is this week, but we didn't want him to possibly, get a little sick, get some of those side effects before his graduation.
Oh, right.
Out there like,
Yeah,
oh man, I don't feel good. So it got pushed a week. You know what I mean? So everyone who is of age in our house is going to be fully vaccinated. He's the last one. But like I said, I have two younger ones, and it's the same thing. Like out of solidarity, when we go out, we're gonna put them on. You know what I mean? So I don't know. My hope is not to be accosted by someone, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you don't need the
yeah,
mask. They said this, that, and the third. I'm like, well, let me correct you on that. CDC just gives you guidelines, right? They don't tell you can do this, that, and the third, right? It's guidelines,
right.
recommendations. You know what I mean? They're not saying that's the law now. So that's the thing, because I already know there are going to be people out there that are just, oh yeah, sure, I'm vaccinated. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like,
Right.
okay, like
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's not for you, right? Like if I'm the type that if you want to go, play Russian roulette with a gun in your own house, go do that. You know what I mean? Take yourself out. So, no, I'm just saying, right? Like, don't be out there making everybody else sick or getting other people, because you got other people that are like immunocompromised, that may not be able to take the vaccination for whatever reason or whatever. But
yeah,
you're just saying, oh, I get to live my life, my freedom, but I don't care about anybody else, right? It's that selfishness we have. So, and
Right.
I'm
Right.
a, I'm a back off of it, because then I'm gonna go too far.
Right.
gotcha.
I know.
Yeah.
I
No,
guess that we can
I
have
was
a
just
whole
wondering
episode
because
about that. Yeah.
yeah, because I
Sorry.
was talking to my wife about it. Yeah, I was just wondering because I was talking to my wife about it, and I was like, yeah, like when we're out and about having fun and whatnot, like I don't want him to feel some kind of way because
Right.
because I do believe in the science. I do think that the mask will keep. I know I realize little kids aren't getting sick and whatnot, but just for safety, like because who knows. But because of that. then I'm going to also wear one because I don't want him just to be walking around with one. You know what I mean? Feeling like outcast and what have you. But then, like you said, that goes into a whole different parameters. People talking crazy stuff about freedom, liberty, and nonsense and whatnot. But yeah, just asking that question.
Yeah. No, I think you guys are right on it. And I was going to touch on it as well that you guys mentioned they are easing some of the requirements on the mask, and I think I think I read that like some grocery stores like Trader Joe's and stuff like that, maybe even Walmart, said that they're not going to require masks for people that are vaccinated, which kind of made me think like, are they gonna check cards when they come in, or people are just gonna like do an honor system? People gonna walk in there like, yeah, I've been vaccinated. Come on in.
Yeah,
integrity. Well, people aren't gonna be honest.
They're not checking now. It's like that's the thing. So well, before Thursday when they did this, it was one of those things where Walmart specifically, and I like Walmart. I shop at Walmart, right? I think we all do. But yeah, they have on the door, it's required to wear it, but they weren't really going to enforce it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like they would offer you one, but they wouldn't say, "Hey, you can't shop here. We're not refusing service if you don't want to come in with one. We can offer you one. You take it, thank you. But if not, like, okay, go about your business." You know what I mean? So,
yeah, that's just protecting your employees, because you're gonna have that person who's coming in there looking for a fight.
Yeah,
right.
Like,
and I've seen some altercations at Walmart too. People like, actually, I think people were actually getting kicked out for not wearing a mask at one point at certain. Really? And I think it's like certain Walmarts, like certain places, they decide whether or not they want you in their store if you're not wearing a mask.
Your state was shut down hard there forever, man. So like that's why y'all numbers are so low out there in California, right?
That's true.
Like, y'all shut it down. You know what I mean?
So, yeah, they like yeah.
So now y'all are like, yeah, we're good to come out now. You know what I mean? Our infection rate is so low, but that was not everywhere. You know what I mean?
That's the truth.
When the Florida been opened everything up, did they ever close? Is the question.
Florida never had a mask mandate.
Mayweather about to come down here for his I think it's after the fight or whatever. Like, how he's fighting one of the Paul brothers. I don't know, right? But he's talking about after party in Miami. I was like, no, not Miami. Those numbers were so high.
Right. Yeah, the numbers are kind of.
Yeah, don't bring it back down here. But hey, like, people out there, like, again, you do you, follow whatever state laws or whatever. Like, I'm not here to judge you. I hope you're being safe. You know what I mean? Like, not putting gas in your in baggies, not out and about without a mask if you're not vaccinated. Like, just be safe, people. That's all I'm having. Do you?
Yeah, be safe. Yeah. Look out for your fellow man too. I mean, hey, look out for each other. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
But I think that brings it to a natural conclusion. I'm sure next week's hijinks will be even crazier. I gotta watch the rundown, or Bad Trip. I gotta watch Bad Trip.
Yeah.
And I gotta start the Harley Quinn show. So those will happen this week. I knock both of those out.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll study. Probably not though.
That's right.
I got to block off a week. I do need to block off a week to get through this class. So I will definitely do that. But
hell yeah.
But thank you. Good luck on that. Thank you to my co-host. I appreciate it. Good luck to Shannon as well whenever he starts back up his journey. Reading the 11th hour and all that good stuff. But thank you to my co-host. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you, LeVon. It's been a good week. Hopefully no more colonial pipeline talk, unless it's like clear cut and dry, like this is what happened. We can share that with the audience. Hopefully something cooler happens this week. No more ransomware. Please stop ransomwaring people. And then hit us up on the website. That's theothersideofthefirewall.com. Watch the YouTube videos, share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Listen to our audio podcasts on 6 different platforms. And you can hit me up personally at RY Security Guy. That's RY Security Guy on LinkedIn, Clubhouse, Twitter, TikTok, and IG. And LeVon?
Hit me up on the Twitters at LeVon Maynard.
There it is. So y'all take care.
Take it easy.